Cam Rogers with you, Tom Downey alongside here. Let's get into all of the latest NFL rumors, and we will start things off with Khalil Mack. Tom, is he behind on the playbook right now? We're going to go with two heads firmly in the rumor category, and this coming from Paul Gunther.
I guess, but does Khalil Mack really need the playbook? Like, of all the guys on the Raiders, who's the one guy you would feel most confident about not being at the voluntary stuff going on right now?
Khalil Mack.
It's Khalil Mack. Like, you want your quarterback there to help him teach everything. Mack isn't the signal caller on the defensive side of the ball. And I'll make note of this as well. I think Oakland's playing just a little bit of a risky game by kind of calling him out like this.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to get paid. That's why he's not there. He wants to get paid in a big way, and you're just kind of like, meh, he should be here. I just think it's a little bit risky. Like, don't upset your best player on your team.
An elite player. Let's face it,
he's
at
one
the
of
edge
the
rusher position.
best 10 guys in the NFL, I think, if you're not weighting by positional value, because then it's all QBs. But
so what is Paul Gunther trying to do here, saying, quote, he's going to have a lot of catching up to do? Is he trying to scare Khalil Mack into showing up? Because that ain't going to work.
I mean, I think that's kind of what Khalil Mack is doing by not showing up. He's trying to scare the Raiders into giving him a new contract, like kind of reminding. So it's a little bit back and forth, like, oh, hey, I'm going to remind you guys that I need to get paid. And then they're going to go, hey, Mack, remind you that you need to be here to learn stuff. And I think there's also another angle of this that I haven't really seen too much of. Paul Gunther is also trying to treat everyone the same. Like, he's trying to treat Khalil Mack like he's treating Shalik Calhoun, like he's trying to treat an undrafted free agent. He's not trying to show preferential treatment, at least right now, because everyone knows that Khalil Mack is the guy. But you still want to have Mack doing everything that all the other lesser guys are doing in terms of money, in terms of snap counts and all that. You want Mack to be a lead-by-example guy. And the reality is he's not really doing that right now, even though he has justifiable reasons to not be there.
All right, are the Raiders going to make the playoffs in 2018? Give us a heart for yes, a like for no. Tom, they're on my breakout team list. I think they will certainly make a run at things. I don't know for sure if they'll make the playoffs. Nobody really is. What do you think?
I was challenged on a by a YouTube commenter to be nicer to the Raiders and not always be negative.
Step it up,
So
Tom.
Here you go. Yeah, Oakland's going to compete for the AFC West this year. I have no doubts about that.
All right, folks, you're watching NFL Daily, and we are presented by Man Crates. It's summertime, folks. Head to mancrates.com to get the awesome Grill Master Crate for the summertime. There's no quicker way to separate the men from the boys than to observe how they manage a steak on the grill. The Grill Master Crate is for the man who's a cool operator whenever the heat is high, Tom.
Look, I love this crate. I'm moving out of my apartment into a house in July. This crate has already been purchased alongside my nice new grill. You get a brass knuckle meat tenderizer, a smoker box, 4 set of steak thermometers, plus some dried hickory wood chips. My game is here when it comes to steaks. It's going to here now with this crate.
Mancrates.com, awesome gifts guys love, bringing you today's NFL Daily. Let's go to rumor number 2 on the list. Tom, say it isn't so. Dez Bryant returning to the Cowboys.
It's not so. It's fake news. Let's stop talking about Dez going back to the Cowboys. Cam, this bridge has been nuked from orbit. It's not going to happen. And I get what Deion Sanders is saying. I think that some of the core, he has some arguments that the Cowboys receiving depth chart is bad right now. He's right. But there's no way this happens. Like, if Jerry Jones and co. go back and say, Dez, we're sorry, come back to us, Dez is going to go, no, I hate you people. And that's going to be the end of the discussion. Like, and not only that, the Cowboys don't want Dez right now. Like, there was a strong contingent in that organization that did not want Dez on the roster. I think it was spearheaded by Scott Linehan, among others. They don't want Dez back. The bridge has been destroyed. It's just not going to happen. They're going to roll with a group of these guys that they have. It's definitely a worse unit on paper, but Dez is not coming back to the Cowboys. It just doesn't make sense from either side. The relationship is not existent, at least from the front office and some of the coaches than Dez. Players and Dez are fine, but it's everyone else. It's the front office guys. It's just, it doesn't make sense anymore.
Well, I love prime time, but the logic he used
I will
here,
always love prime time.
That saying that Dez should come back because he has something to prove. Well, if he has something to prove, he's going to want to prove it against the Cowboys.
That's exactly right.
And perhaps he could be on one of these teams here, Tom.
Which, if I'm the Giants, I signed Dez Bryant because I'm getting 2 games where he just goes off each year.
Buffalo Bills need a lot of help.
What, you don't think Kelvin Benjamin, Zay Jones, and the retreads are good enough?
Zay Jones is too busy populating TMZ.com right now with running around naked and all that stuff. 49ers could be interesting as well. Why do you think Dez Bryant is still unsigned? Let us know in the comments section. A lot of theories out there.
There are a lot of theories that all have varying levels of truthiness to them and accuracy, and I think that at some level they all are true. The big issue for me in the end with Dez, I think, is that I think he does want to wait a little bit. He's waiting on the ideal spot. That's why he passed on signing with the Baltimore Ravens in particular. And I think for a lot of teams, they just don't need receivers anymore because they drafted somebody or they signed somebody else like the Bears and the Jags did in free agency. And then on the other side of it as well, he has a lot to deal with. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Dez can be a handful and a bit of a hassle to handle overall because he is a personality, I guess is the nice way I'll go about saying it. And oh, by the way, folks, we do have a new Cowboys-focused YouTube channel. All of our Cowboys report coverage. Subscribe today at chatsports.com/CowboysTV. It'll take you right to the subscribe button on YouTube. Got the best Cowboys coverage out there for you.
There you go. Get it done, folks. Let's go to rumor number 3. Is a Reuben Foster suspension coming? We're giving this 2 Goodell heads, Tom, firmly in the rumor category, coming from Adam Schefter because the NFL is still mulling perhaps giving a suspension on Reuben Foster because of that weapons charge.
This is why more than anything else, this is why I hated the NFL suspending Ezekiel Elliott. Because it set a ridiculous and unfair precedent for the rest of the NFL. Based on what happened to Zeke, Foster should be suspended for 6 games.
Right.
And there shouldn't even be a debate about it because Zeke was suspended for 6 and he wasn't even charged. Police didn't think there was enough to go with it. Reuben Foster was charged. They took it to court and the judge had to say, no, we're not going to bring the charges.
Right.
I don't like the NFL's current situation where they play judge, jury, and executioner, and I think it set them up for constant failure. And I think that there is a real chance that Foster does get suspended. Now, we'll take it to the timeline here of everything. And it's been a very strange ordeal for Foster. Back in January, marijuana possession. Bama players, don't go back to Tuscaloosa. Only bad things happen there.
Bad news.
February, suspicion of domestic violence after the accusations made by Elisa Ennis. April 12th, he was charged with 3 felonies, 2 for domestic violence, one of which was also involved because he had a gun on that he bought legally, but Alabama laws and California laws, surprise, surprise, Cam, are very different when it comes to assault weapons. April 25th pops around, and Ennis recants her accusation against Foster publicly. The DA still goes forward with charges. On May 8th, Foster says, I'm not guilty. And then, Cam, we got the whole crazy court ordeal.
Yes. And then eventually the marijuana charges are dropped. He goes through that course and all that. Yeah. And you see today that there's probation that's laid down, $235 worth of fines, by the way.
Which is like a slap on the wrist for a man of Reuben Foster's income level, which it truly was.
We're still waiting to see if the Iron Fist of Goodell comes down.
And my fear is that, you're going to see Foster get some type of suspension. And I am super curious what the NFL tries to suspend him for. Because if they suspend him for anything involving the domestic violence charges, you are going to see a lot of NFL fans, mostly Cowboy fans, and I get why, who are livid. Because why does Zeke get 6, but the other guy doesn't? Right. And we saw it with Josh Brown, and I think rightfully so. And I think that was the big takeaway for me with the Ezekiel Elliott suspension, is that there was clearly not enough for him to be suspended for. Like, the NFL's own investigators said that he shouldn't be suspended. Like, there was not enough evidence to do it. There wasn't enough here. Why is this a good idea for the NFL to play the suspension role? And you should let the courts do it. If the courts drop the charges, you probably shouldn't suspend him, except in very extreme cases, you would think. And I don't think Zeke or Foster fit in those extreme cases. So, unfortunately, Cam, I would not be surprised if Foster was suspended, but I don't think he should be at all. The victim testified that she made it all up. There should be no suspension, but the NFL doesn't operate in that way, unfortunately.
This could get messier before it gets cleaner. We'll say that right here. All right, let's go to rumor number 4. Will Carson Wentz be good to go for the season opener in Week 1? We're giving this 3 Goodell heads here, Tom. Looks like he's progressing nicely.
The Eagles will not try and force him back, but I think Wentz is going to. And Wentz appears to be ahead of his rehab, which I think is a good thing. Did a little 7-on-7 the other day. That's a really good sign for Carson Wentz coming back already from that knee injury, the ACL. I do think he's going to be in good shape to play in Week 1 for the NFL. Even if the Eagles try and maybe give him like one snap in the preseason or something like that, I think we'll see him in Week 1 if I was a betting man, and I am.
Not too many worries there. 3 Goodell heads there. Let's go to rumor number 5. A Kareem Hunt altercation while partying in Ohio. Did it happen? Allegedly. 4 Goodell heads here.
Well, that's what it sounds like, and it does seem like this is very, very much what happened here. So Hunt was out partying at Put-in-Bay, Ohio. Great place, by the way. Absolutely love it.
Have you been?
I have been. If you ever go visit Topsy Turvey's Island Bar and Grill. It's a very nice spot. So Hunt was out partying there until Sunday morning. Here's what allegedly happened per TMZ. Someone punched Hunt in the face. A resort official confirmed something happened. The man was not seriously injured. There was no medical attention. Hunt wasn't arrested. If I had to bet, because the victim doesn't want to do any charges, just wants to move on, I'm sure that there's more than just the Hunt randomly punched somebody story. It wasn't just that. So I would not at all be surprised here if Kareem Hunt, he probably did something, but I don't know if there's going to be any discipline coming from it. I will make note here, remember back in February, Kareem Hunt was accused of shoving a female, but the victim, or at least for the friends, Hunt's friends, said that it was all made up. So this is twice now where Hunt's had some issues, and it's just worth monitoring here.
Rumor number 6 on the list. Are we going to see an increased workload for Christian McCaffrey? We're going with 3 Goodell heads here, and Jonathan Stewart no longer there. Ron Rivera thinks that McCaffrey can kind of take that bell cow back role. New offensive coordinator there in Norv Turner. He loves the bell cow running backs. Maybe McCaffrey is that guy.
I could see it being the case. The only reason it's not 4 for me, Cam, C.J. Anderson is there now.
Right.
And I think that Anderson will get some work. I think that McCaffrey's going to easily get the most touches among Panthers halfbacks because of his value in the passing game. I does think he does get way more than 117 carries. I could see him getting to 200 even. But he's not going to be a full-fledged Lev Bell type workhorse. They're going to give reps to Jonathan Stewart. So more workload, yes, just maybe not the massive amount that other people might think.
More reps to C.J. Anderson.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right, 3 Goodell heads there. Let's go to rumor number 7. Duane Brown, is that extension happening for the Seattle Seahawks tackle?
We'll give it 2 heads, and maybe not. Brown says he's going to let his agent handle it, but he thinks that it'll get done. I will make note, and why it's a good thing to say Brown said he's not worried about it. He held out with Houston last year. And that was a big reason why the Texans traded him away.
He's pretty pouty.
So just keep an eye on this going forward. If we get to, let's say, training camp, and all of a sudden Duane Brown still has no extension, maybe he tries to change his mind. And I think the concern for Brown, a lot of highly paid offensive tackles. He just saw what Nate Solder got, which was almost $2 million more per year than what Trent Williams got.
Laughable.
I'm sure he was very excited to buy that. Now, I don't think Brown is necessarily a top 5 offensive lineman, even though he's a very, very good one. I think he might be asking for maybe a little bit more than he wants, given his injury history and his age. So just keep an eye on that one going forward for Seattle, who may or may not, but probably are in a rebuild.
All right, so Duane Brown extension, 2 Goodell heads there. Did Gronk actually think about retiring from football? We'll get to that rumor in a matter of moments, but first, a word from our friends at Man Crates.
Man Crates, awesome gifts for men in real wooden crates, wrapped in a cocoon of duct tape, or housed in ammo cans that are virtually indestructible. Some gifts he'll get to assemble himself. Some gifts you'll beg him to share. And some gifts are sealed inside layers of rock-solid concrete. Gifts guys love, from grilling gear to old-school video games and more. Man Crates, awesome gifts for men.
Thanks to Man Crates for coming along for the ride here on NFL Daily. So 4 heads on Gronk, Tom. This is not surprising.
He thought about it.
Yeah.
He has confirmed that he did think about retiring. He said it was definitely in the mind, but I had to do what I had to do. So he at least considered it. And I think at this point in the stage for Gronk's career, it's going to be a topic each and every single season going forward until he actually decides to retire, and maybe even after that.
All right, and then finally, Tom, are the Ravens cheaters?
Yes, they are, Cam.
Unbelievable.
Yes, they are.
What a story this is. We're giving it 2 heads, though,
it's
because
not really
we're not going to say all the way that they're cheaters. That would be crazy. But
OTA gate. OTA Ghazi.
The story is the Ravens have lost their final 2
They're
OTAs
cheaters, Cam.
due to infraction of rules. Harbaugh and Bisciotti both got fined, so here we are.
They had an infraction of the rules of contact drills. So what Harbaugh made it sound like, Some of the rookie secondary players are getting too physical with the wide receivers, and that's not okay, and the Ravens got singled out. But here's the pattern, Cam, my Ravens fan friend. John Harbaugh and co., this is not the first time this has happened. It happened in 2016 because the Rooks had pads on during OTAs. Happened in 2010, they had to cancel the entire final week of OTAs. Cam, 3 times in a row here. The Ravens are trying to cheat, Cam. What's going on here? You're busted.
You know what? We're ending the show right now. I am Cam Rogers. That guy's Tom Downey. And make sure to check out mancrates.com to check out the awesome gifts guys love for this Father's Day. Take care, folks.